Hello, my name is Jordan. I am a first year creative writing student here at OSU. Today I'm going to give you a tour of my dorm here at Finley Hall at OSU. Um, this video is made largely in a response to the one done by Benjamin Wu, which if you haven't seen, there's a link down in the description, which was highly informative for someone who's going to move into the dorms. This video is made as a response to that, plus some more information, plus like kind of an update. So yeah, let's get started. We have the room divided into two sections, the sleeping area and the living area. This is definitely more the living area. This is where we keep all of our supplies. Then we have our two closets to the side right here, as you can see. Also this chair, this one is my chair, just because I have an office chair that I use instead of this chair, which this is the provided chair. It's fine, it's a chair. I mean, it's kind of uncomfortable to sit in long sessions of work with, but it works. Okay. So with the fridge, they really push you to have a fridge. My roommate and I used it for the first semester a little bit. Then we just started going to the dining hall. Like, we stopped using this. I would still recommend bringing one in case you do use it more than we do. But I mean, honestly, I don't think there's anything in here right now that we actually eat. So not strictly required as much for at least in our use case, but I would still recommend having one. This is our dust buster, our little vacuum, handheld vacuum. I would highly recommend one of these. This place, it gets, I mean, you'll still see some dust and stuff, but like it gets really dusty, so I would definitely recommend having one of these. Water boiler, same sort of situation as the fridge, where I was trying to use it, and Benjamin definitely recommends one. I don't drink coffee in the morning, so I don't find it really necessary. I don't use it a whole lot. I'm glad I have it if I do need it, but I don't really use it a whole lot. Honestly, so right behind you is a TV. I'll do a full 360 of the room at the very end so you can kind of see exactly where everything is. Behind you is a TV. We don't use it very much. Me and my roommate, we don't really, like, we don't host parties or anything. We don't really watch TV together, so we don't really use it a whole lot. You know, it just kind of depends on what you're doing. So I'm gonna bring it a little closer here. Okay. I just set it on a tripod. Okay. Just gonna, there we go. So this is the closet. Inside is pretty spacious. So one thing that Benjamin really talks about in his video is these like hanging racks. I had one of those. I didn't find it too helpful. I wear basically the same thing every day though, so it's like my fashion is not great. So I couldn't tell you anything about that. But I got them and I didn't find I needed them. What I really wanted was like these plastic drawers. Up here is like school stuff and like more school stuff, and then I usually like keep extra towels and stuff down in this drawer. Then I have this this cardboard box. This is where I keep a blanket that I have just in case it gets cold. And then this is also where I live about an hour away, so I like to shuttle back and forth between here and my hometown. So this is where I keep all the stuff that I'm going to take back home eventually. I also have an iron because I wear shirts sometimes. I'm Catholic, so I go to church here in town, so I like to have an iron for shirts and stuff. This is like an IKEA ironing board, stuff like that. Towels, I have a big towel for like my body, and then I have a little towel for my hair when I'm drying my hair. Highly recommend, especially this helpful for shaving, just like having an extra towel for shaving. It's up to you. Lots of extra hangers. I don't know why I have so many hangers, I gotta be honest. Yeah, so this is kind of like the main closet area, pretty spacious. There's a second bar that's right here. I just took it off. I don't know why they have it. Then they have this bar up here. So yeah, pretty good closet situation here. Then that's why I keep in like the main compartment of the closet. And then down here, this is where I keep my main clothes compartment. So this is like pants, pajama pants, underwear, socks, that sort of thing. Just kind of all shoved in there. And then down here is kind of where I keep my like utilities. This is where like my dishes live and my laundry stuff and some extra food and supplies that I have. Like I said, I eat a lot at the dining hall, so I don't really find myself eating these snacks unless I really need to, or I'm just really lazy. For dishes, some people like to bring dishes. I did not find myself using them too often. Sometimes I found myself using like the silverware a lot more than I did like the bowls and the plates and stuff. So it's just kind of one of those situations where you have to determine for yourself. Luckily they do sell, oh, and then for the laundry stuff, so they do sell laundry stuff at Cascadia Market, which is the sort of like grocery store where they take dining dollars and orange cash, so you can spend that on laundry stuff, so you don't really ever have to go outside of the grocery store for that stuff. Also just like dishwashing stuff, just like there's also a bunch of useful supplies there just to keep your dorm clean and yourself functional. So yeah, that's kind of like the main two drawers down here. Okay. While living in a dorm, one thing that you're going to notice is the lack of seating around here. I had that for my first term. It wasn't fun. I did not like just having nowhere to sit. So at the beginning of my second term here, I created this little reading nook for myself, just this saucer chair off of Amazon. Highly recommend something like this, just to have somewhere where you can sit and that's not your desk and it is not like your bed. Because you can't really sit, like you can sit on your bed, it's just kind of more difficult. So having something like this, somewhere to read, somewhere to write, I highly recommend something like it. This is my laundry basket right over here. It's kind of full of laundry right now, so I can't really show you it in any detail. It's just kind of a basic Amazon one. Extra lamp, I would recommend having lots of lamps and interior lighting. I don't really have the overhead lamp on very much, so it's just kind of like for the lighting of this video, but like a lot of single sources of light I would recommend rather than the overhead, because the overhead, it's kind of bright and just not very great. Okay, so printer. If you can afford it, I would very much recommend a printer, just because they do make you pay for printing here at OSU. And I do like printing out stuff. I like having like physical notes and stuff like that. So if you are someone who's also into that, who also finds themselves wanting to print stuff, I would recommend getting a printer. Just because, yeah, it's going to cost more in the short term. Like it's a $300 printer, but like that's a one-time. I mean, it's a one-time cost. The ink lasts for a very long time, especially for like the Epson inkjet printers. They are expensive the first time, but the ink, like I've only ever had to refill the black ink like once, and that was like a $20 bottle of ink that's probably going to last me another 6 months. So yeah, I would highly recommend a printer if you can afford it, just because after college you can still take this and still do stuff with it. The one I got, it doesn't do double-sided printing unless you like feed it manually, so that's kind of annoying, but like still, I would recommend getting a printer if that's something you're into. One of the best purchases I've ever made in my life, honestly. So yeah. Hi, so this is the desk setup. So yeah, the chair, I'm gonna start with the chair. Like I said, the wooden chair, it's fine. It's not very great for long work sessions. So I have this chair, just got it off of Amazon, like I said. It's pretty comfortable. I definitely would recommend something that is not a wooden chair, just better for long working hours, that sort of thing. So yeah, this is kind of my working surface. Okay, let's see. I got a phone holder right here. Obviously I'm recording with my phone right now, so it's not on there. Here's my chargers. In the video he says that extension cords are not allowed. That is not true currently, as far as I'm aware. So I have this extension cord going down. There's like a whole, I'll show you it a little bit later, but there's like a whole corded mess right there. It's connected to my lamps and my MacBook charger and just a whole bunch of stuff. But my main chargers are right here. I have a USB-C for my iPhone, and then one of the old lightning chargers for my AirPods. So yeah, that's what I have for charging stuff. This is a little desk fan. One thing that I noticed when I first moved in is how hot it gets in the morning. It gets really, really hot. Or at the beginning of the school year, it got really hot in our room. So I would definitely recommend one of these fans, just so that it can kind of cool down. Once we got into winter and like things started to cool down, winter to fall, it started to cool down again, so it wasn't as hot. But yeah, for the first couple nights, like we had to keep our window open, which was a bad thing because I'll tell you about that later. Let's see what else. Desk clock, again, like I would recommend one of those guys. Yeah, just kind of like desk knickknacks, and like just little personal stuff, picture my family, just some little, stuff to keep around to keep the smile at, basically. Like I said, lamp, would recommend something like that. Yeah, I also have an extra recycling bin. I create a lot of recycling, but you don't need to have one of these strictly because there's another recycling bin but I just like having an extra one just because I create a lot of recycling. I like my paper. Okay, one of the most helpful tips in this video is the water jug. I would, like, if there's anything that you take from his video and from my video, it's one of these guys. Get a water jug, just because it is so much more convenient. I drink out of the tap just because, honestly, I'm not too worried about it, but like having an extra source of water in your room, I drink a lot of water on average, so having an extra source of it in your room is very helpful for just in general. You don't have to go out of your room as often. So I would recommend keeping Arizona tea or just like a gallon jug or something. One of my friends said that he fills up like soda bottles with water and he keeps them in his fridge to keep them cool. That's also an option. But for me, I would just recommend having some sort of something like this. Let's see what else. I think this is like a little timer I have so I can kind of track my work when I'm writing. Not strictly necessary, but yeah, just a bunch of decoration. Yeah. So this is the outside view of the dorm. It's nice, it has some foliage and stuff. You know, there's the unloading bay right down there. I'll explain why that's a problem in just a second. I have a little potted plant named Charles. Say hi to Charles. You know, he's very friendly. So the unloading bay. That is the one big complaint I have with my room. The neighbors are not noisy at all. Everything's good there. It's just the unloading bay because starting at about 6 in the morning, trucks start to unload and then you hear the beep, beep, beep. The first couple nights it was awful. Just like the beeping, and I could not, like, you know, it was the first couple nights at college, I was nervous, and having that beeping, it kind of drove me insane. So I eventually learned to wear earplugs in the morning, and I've kind of been able to drown them out ever since. But definitely I would recommend bringing earplugs for your first couple nights, just in case there is something like that. They're really annoying. I hate them, but you know, I would rather have that at like 6 o'clock in the morning rather than noisy neighbors at like 11 o'clock at night. So it's not so bad. But yeah, that's like the one bad thing about this room specifically. Yeah, so you can open your windows. You have like this like little window right here that you can open. We keep it open only when we really need to keep it cool. Which like I said, like in the summer, like towards the beginning of the term, the first term, it's really hot. And it can get hot, like we're entering into spring right now, so it can get hot some other times, so I need to keep it open. But honestly, we don't keep it open that often. Then there's like the blinds that you have like a little chain here for. We kind of keep it about like this level that lets enough natural light in to kind of tell us what time of day it is, but not enough to distract us from that. So one thing he mentions in his video is having a lofted bed, and I would honestly really recommend that as well. Like seriously, it opens up the space so much more. Me and my roommate both got lofted beds, and it opens up the space so much more than some of my other friends who do not have lofted beds. So we're up on my bed right now, obviously, as you can tell, hopefully. So you get, you know, if you loft your bed, you get plenty of space. Like I can kind of sit comfortably. It ends about right here, but like when I'm laying down, I don't even really notice. So I have my little reading lamp right here that just clips onto the side there. It's a way of me being able to shut off the light because the switch is like down there. So it's a way for me to switch off the light without having to get out of my bed, which is nice. Yeah, it's a pretty comfortable bed. Oh, the mattress has two sides to it. There's a firm side and a soft side. I didn't realize this until like halfway through the year. So it's like on the little tag. Just look on the tag, see what side your bed is on, depending on which side you'd like to sleep on. You're supposed to bring your own sheets. I recommend a gray colored sheet just because it fits in with your laundry, whether you want to wash it with the lights or the darks. So that's why like basically everything of mine is like either black or gray colored. Yeah, just one of those things I recommend. For an alarm clock, some people like to use their phone. I do not like to use my phone just because I don't want to have it up here with me. I have it downstairs charging, or downstairs. I have it like down on the ground floor charging. So instead I have this like little IKEA alarm clock. It's a nice little alarm clock. I would, you know, it's good. It's really loud. One time I left it on while I was going to the bathroom in the morning, and it beeped. And I'm like, oh man, what jerk left his alarm clock on? And I'm like, oh, that's me. I'm the jerk. So yeah, just be careful with that. Some people have their alarms go off. It's not the nicest thing in the world. So yeah, just be aware of what your alarm clock's on. You'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. So that's kind of everything that I have to do up here. So this is like the little 360 of the room I promised earlier. Yeah, this is kind of like my roommate's side. Just some stuff he has. This is the TV I was telling you about earlier. You have your recycling and garbage right there. They do not take it for you, obviously, so you need to take it down yourself, so it works out. You can get different bins if you want, but they just provide those ones for you. This is kind of like the main area I was talking about earlier. Up here, I have like my little personal library that I like to have. That's a good place to keep it. Most people, they have their closets placed against the wall. We decided to place it against our beds instead to kind of create two areas. I like this setup better, but it just kind of depends on what you want to do. You can move the furniture around like that. So yeah. So one of the things that he doesn't really go into detail in his video about is the bathrooms. So I thought that I would remedy that just a little bit. This is one of the personal size bathrooms. It's pretty spacious, as you can see. This is like one of the single stall bathrooms. On our floor, there are 3 single stall bathrooms, and then there's like a female bathroom with several stalls, and then like some showers. I think there's 3 showers. And then there's a co-ed bathroom, which just in practice, it just turns into a male bathroom. I don't know why they have a co-ed bathroom instead of just a male bathroom, but that switches per floor. So like, for example, the floor above us, it is a male bathroom, male only bathroom, and then a co-ed bathroom that is used by basically all the females on that floor. One of my friends ended up on a floor like that where it was a male bathroom and a female co-ed bathroom. He said that one of the girls threatened to kill any of the boys that tried to go into the co-ed bathroom. So I've never seen a girl in the bathroom here, so I don't know exactly where they have it. It's just one of those things. But yeah, the bathrooms are pretty spacious. This one has a flaw though. I don't know if you can see it, but there's no rubber seal down here, so there's just puddles of water here all the time. Definitely bring shower shoes. That's one of the things that's really, really recommended, and I cannot emphasize it enough. Wear shower shoes. Just wear shower shoes. So yeah, the bathrooms are pretty good. The showers are decent. Just make sure to bring shower shoes, please. I beg of you. The RAs do checks on the bathrooms as well. So if they knock on the door and say RA, just make sure to say, hey, I'm okay. They will come in. I haven't had that happen to me personally, but they will come in. So just make sure to speak up and say something and make sure they can hear you. Yeah. So one thing I forgot to mention during the bathroom section is the bathroom bag. This is an essential piece of kit for any college student. Again, like I said, I got this one off of Amazon. It seems to be a theme here. Just got some shampoo stuff and some body wash. Not really anything too fancy. Then I would also recommend just keeping just like your toothbrush and retainers if you have them, or floss and toothpaste. Just kind of like all the essential pieces of kit that you would need. Also, this is where I keep like my medicine stuff in case I get sick. I haven't gotten sick here too much. Just nose spray and ibuprofen, taking care of it. So yeah, that's kind of, honestly, that's about it. So I hope that this information was helpful for you. If you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. And then just a couple more updates, just a quick disclaimer. Make sure to check your current rules with your dorm as they are now. Because, right now, like for example, right now, you can put tacks into the wall to hang up decorations, but you cannot put command strips. Extension cords are allowed, things like that. So just make sure to check with your dorm and just make sure to see the rules as they are now. Because obviously this is just a silly YouTube video that was posted however many years ago. So it's not gonna be binding for that time. But yeah, I hope this information was helpful for you, just some tips and tricks. I hope that it worked well with his video as well, Benjamin, I believe it was. So yeah, I hope you have a very nice rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in.